Are Manchester United the subject of a transfer embargo? No. Have they done anything nefarious in their pursuit of the most talented footballer on the market this winter? No. Is there a rule that says just because they were England's dominant team for much of the 90s and 2000s that they are not allowed to do everything they can to recapture old glories? No. So, I'm sorry, but I really don't get the outpouring of outrage and sanctimony that has greeted their apparently imminent signing of Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez is one of the best players in the world and United are about to get him for a fee that is somewhere in the region of £30 million. Take anti-United jaundice out of the equation and there is only one way of viewing that: they got themselves a steal. The outpouring of outrage over Alexis Sanchez's move to Manchester United is baffling. They got a knockdown fee. They got a bargain. Yes, I know, they could have waited until the summer and got him for nothing. Except they couldn't. Because if they had decided to wait until the summer, Manchester City or Chelsea or Liverpool would have bought him this month. There's no question about that. United wanted him and so they went and got him. So they're paying him so much money that he has to carry his wages to his car in a wheelbarrow. So what? In case you hadn't noticed. The best players on the planet don't come cheap anymore. Not unless you negotiate your deal with Daniel Levy. United are paying a king's ransom to Sanchez, but, if you want the elite, you have to pay for the elite. It was only last month when Jose Mourinho laid down what amounted to an ultimatum to the club's executive vice chairman Ed Woodward. He told him United had not spent enough to keep pace with their rivals. It was a stern warning from the United manager and Woodward has not wasted any time heeding it. He needs to make Mourinho a success or he will be gone, too. It was only last month when Jose Mourinho told Ed Woodward United had not spent enough. So United should be applauded for getting the deal done. Not castigated for it. Sanchez is the kind of signing who has the power to transform their season and turn them from City's lapdogs into a side that suddenly looks capable of launching a credible challenge for the Champions League. Sanchez has diamonds on the soles of his shoes. He's old-style United. When United fans have moaned this season about how Pep Guardiola has bought the title, we laughed them out of the house. So those who are criticizing United for going out and getting the best deserve the same treatment. It's United's money. It's Mourinho's judgment. He and the club will stand or fall by it. In the midst of European football's age of excess, when transfer fees take the breath away as a matter of routine, it is odd that United, who are still short of the quality they need to launch a title challenge, are being so widely criticized for stealing a march on some of their rivals. Everyone assumed City would sign Sanchez. That United stole him away represents a great coup. It is odd, too, that scorn is being poured on Sanchez. Mainly, it seems, that is because he rejected the higher calling of joining City. He chose cash over job satisfaction, people are saying. Martin Keown said he was the biggest mercenary in football. Well, maybe, but he's got an awful lot of competition for that accolade. It's not as if he is signed for Wycombe Wanderers. It's not as if he moved to China and turned his back on a top-level career. It's not as if the Chilean forward has moved to China and turned his back on a top-level career. Look, I'm not Mourinho's biggest fan, but he is one of the best coaches in the world. I'm not Woodward's biggest fan either, but United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Sanchez has not compromised here. His career just took a big leap forward. The dynamic of the move is relatively straightforward. It has very little to do with emotion or loyalty or sentiment. It's simple: United needed him more than City and, in the end, they wanted him more than City. So they offered him, and Arsenal, more than City. In 9 cases out of 10, in most walks of life, that tends to swing it. I don't get the criticism of the deal. Not from any angle. Even with those wheelbarrow wages. Barcelona paid Liverpool almost 5 times more for Philippe Coutinho than United paid for Sanchez. Coutinho is younger. Sure, but we could all have a decent argument about who's the better player and nobody would win because it's too close to call. Yes, United have paid an eye-watering amount for Sanchez. And Liverpool paid an eye-watering amount for Virgil van Dijk. And Chelsea paid an eye-watering amount for Alvaro Morata. And City paid an eye-watering amount for Benjamin Mendy. It is the way the market is now. United are throwing money at the situation. So are their rivals. Yes. United have paid an eye-watering amount for Sanchez. Liverpool did too for Virgil van Dijk. United legend Gary Neville pointed out recently that 7 of the United starting 11 for the league game against West Brom last month hailed from the Ferguson era. The signing of Sanchez will be a step towards fixing that. United's transfers under Woodward have not been particularly impressive. Disjointed, Neville called them. Sanchez should improve that batting average, too. Sanchez improves United. That's all that matters. He makes them a better team. He won't make them a threat to City in the league this season. But next season he might. He may yet enable Mourinho to have a tilt at the Champions League this season. That's why the scorn about the deal is so misplaced. It's the best bit of business United have done for some time. Regis' courage helped Piers. I saw Cyril Regis play at Old Trafford and Main Road in the 80s. I was a teenager then. I admired him as a brilliant centre-forward, but I didn't think much about his wider role until I was older. Then, I remembered watching Bradford City's Cesspod playing at Edgeley Park around the same time and him being subjected to the kind of vile racist abuse that was routine in those years. I didn't join the dots then, but I can now. Regis was a pathfinder for the black players of his generation. Through his dignity and his courage, as well as his talent, things got better for men like him and Pod. Former West Brom and England striker Cyril Regis died suddenly aged 59 last weekend. The VAR system got it wrong when a trip on Willian was not punished with a penalty during Chelsea's FA Cup replay with Norwich City on Wednesday. But the idea that somehow it means the experiment is fatally flawed is a mistaken overreaction. VAR will get more things right than it gets wrong. It will improve fairness and accountability in English football. Those facts alone are enough to warrant its permanent adoption. VAR got it wrong when Willian was tripped at Stamford Bridge, but it will get more things right. The Laureus Awards, which think of themselves as championing sport for good, just nominated two-time drug cheat Justin Gatlin in their Comeback of the Year category.